This evening, commuters stranded at Stabroek Vreed-en-Hoop stelling amid boat operators strike. Nomination day for local government elections postponed. SOCU charged Carrol Smith-Joseph with 14 counts of fraud. In the region, Colombia, BUENAVENTURA celebrates more than 80 days without homicides. And internationally, politician slaps a woman MP in Senegal parliament, sparking brawl. Welcome to another broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Scores of commuters on the west coast and west bank of the Demerara were left stranded this morning after the water taxi operators plying the Stabroek and Vreed-en-Hoop route went on a strike for a raise in fare. The Ghana Police Force and Coast Guards came on the scene and assisted river commuters across the Demerara River between Stabroek and Vreed-en-Hoop water taxi landing. The Transport and Harbour and Marit also were present, lending support. Minister of Home Affairs Rupert Ben, overseeing and assessing the situation, said more boats would be deployed as the government responds to the disruption in the service. He expressed dissatisfaction with the abrupt disruption of service. He also said that there was no opportunity to allow for consultations with the operators. The water taxi operators are demanding a $20 raise in fares from $100 to $120. This strike comes just 2 days after the Marine Administration Department issued a notice that there is no increase in fares for Stabroek to Vreed-en-Hoop route. The notice further warned that boat operators demanding increased fares will face disciplinary actions. Passengers were also encouraged to report any boat operator who charged an increase. The operators said the fare had been the same for several years. Carrol Smith-Joseph, APNU AFC Chief Scrutineer, was earlier today charged with 14 counts of fraud by the Special Organized Crime Unit. Smith-Joseph was instructed on Wednesday to report to SOCU head office at Camp Street today, Friday, December 9th. The charges are connected to her work at Mahaika Abari Rice Development Scheme Rice Milling Complex Limited as a director in 2016 during the coalition's time in government. According to a statement from SOCU, in March 2022, a report was made to the unit by Mahaika Abari Rice Development Scheme Rice Milling Complex Limited of fraudulent appropriation of funds of that company by Carrol Joseph, who was a director at that company at the time. As a result of the report, SOCU commenced investigations. During the investigations, it was revealed that Joseph, as a director on the Mahaika Abari Rice Development Scheme Board, without authority, solely approved 14 transactions amounting to $6,121,108 without the board's knowledge and approval between June 1st, 2016 and August 2016. These amounts were used for her personal benefits. Based on legal advice from DPP's chambers, Joseph was invited to SOCU today, where the 14 allegations of fraudulent appropriation of property of Body Corporate were put to her to the value of over $6 million committed on Mahaika Abari Rice Development Scheme Rice Milling Complex Limited. Smith-Joseph will have to return to SOCU for further questioning on December 16, 2022 at 9 a.m. Police are investigating a robbery committed at the Best Buy variety store at Nonpareil Public Road on the east coast of the Demerara on Wednesday, December 9th. The bandits allegedly cut through the zinc on the roof of the building to gain entry into the business place and stole an undisclosed amount of money and appliances. The store owner said the building was secured on Wednesday evening with all the items in place. However, when the staff returned on Thursday morning at 8 a.m., they found the store ransacked. They said the bandits damaged the CCTV cameras after breaking into the building and removed the DVR. According to reports from the store owner's wife, the perpetrators broke the office door and carried away cash from the office and the cash register. They also took electrical appliances among other items. She added that the remaining items were scattered about the store. She further stated that a neighbor said she heard a noise during the night but did not check to see what was causing the noise. A police investigation is in progress. Stick around after the break. Man charged and fined for verbally abusing head teacher, and nomination day for local government elections postponed.
Last year, we couldn't celebrate Christmas as we wanted to, so for this year, we had everything planned. 100,000 watts of lights, 10 feet tall tree, the best table ever, custom t-shirts, live shows, DJ. And we also had Uncle Mario, who forgot the KFC buckets in the car with the keys inside.
Step back!
This Christmas is to be enjoyed no matter what. Let's savor this Christmas.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December, and you could win one Amazon Echo Show every day. Yes, every day. And that's not all. 4 persons will win $500,000 to spend in the store. Just imagine $500,000 to spend on clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage, and accessories. So shop now at John Lewis Styles to win one Amazon Echo Show every day and $500,000 to spend in the store. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Guyana's Elections Commission has postponed nominations day for local government elections scheduled for December 12, 2022 until further notice. This decision was taken at a special meeting of the Commission held on Thursday, December 8th. The meeting was held to deliberate on a proposal submitted by the Chief Elections Officer, Vishnu Prasad, who conducted an exercise to correct the registers of voters for local government elections. Subject to further deliberations on this matter, deemed necessary by the Commission, information on the way forward would be shared promptly with all stakeholders. 33-year-old Satrahan Kemaraj of Colgin Sporting Area, East Coast Demerara, was on Thursday jailed and fined when he appeared in the Vigilance Magistrates Court for cursing and threatening the head teacher of the Strathspey Primary School, located on the East Coast. Kemaraj appeared before Magistrate Fabio Zor and was charged with 3 offenses: abusive language, disorderly behavior, and threatening language. He pleaded guilty to the charges and was jailed for 3 months and fined $75,000. The court heard that Kemaraj entered the school on Wednesday and began cursing the head teacher over a misunderstanding. Don't go away after the break. Germany arrests 25 people over alleged far-right coup plan, and politician slaps woman MP in Senegal Parliament, sparking brawl.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our stores, you're welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. However, Maison Francois is more than just chocolate. We serve lunch, dinner, afternoon tea, and even Sunday morning mimosa brunch. Our convenient location at 133 Thomas Street, Kitty, makes it the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. Treat yourself with the taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December, and you could win one Amazon Echo Show every day. Yes, every day. And that's not all. 4 persons will win $500,000 to spend in the store. Just imagine $500,000 to spend on clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage, and accessories. So shop now at John Lewis Styles to win one Amazon Echo Show every day and $500,000 to spend in the store. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Colombian President Gustavo Petro has celebrated more than 80 days without a single murder in one of the most violent cities in his country. The reduction comes after the government made a deal with 2 criminal gangs, Al Jazeera's Alessandro Rampietti reports.
Mothers of young people killed by gang violence in Buenaventura delivered candles to Colombia's president and vice president, a life-affirming symbol in a city long devastated by violence and drug trafficking. But it's now been more than 80 days since the last murder, thanks to a truce between the government and the city's 2 main gangs.
This is a unique process that the state supports and protects. Process between 2 groups that are not political in nature but very much have to do with excluded, armed and violent youth. Now it's our turn to demonstrate that it's possible, that the state can fulfill its promises and start a cycle of peace in Colombia.
Petro has vowed to negotiate with all armed groups in Colombia as part of his ambitious total peace policy. He sees Buenaventura as a blueprint for the rest of the country. He's hoping to disband more than 1,700 gang members in this city alone.
But despite the undeniable progress, the process remains in a fragile and exploratory stage, and the government still has to explain the concrete steps necessary for the gang's submission to justice.
Petro's visit to Buenaventura came hours before the release of a report by Colombia's human rights watchdog detailing record numbers of murders in other parts of the country. In neighboring Cauca, dissident factions of FARC rebels killed 6 soldiers and injured dozens more on Tuesday. But Petro's peace commissioner defended the government plans, saying the community is behind it.
It's the women, the children, the mothers of the 1,700 boys of both armed groups that laid the foundation of this truce. It wasn't the institution but the people of flesh and bone that demanded the leadership assume the commitment.
The government has promised major investment in Buenaventura to address the root causes of the violence, poverty, inequality, and decades of state neglect. An international delegation led by the United Nations and the European Union said it supported the efforts.
And I think in this case the international community is trying to surround the process in order to make sure that it's sustainable and that the Buenaventura benefits from this violence reduction.
For now, the people of Buenaventura are enjoying a newfound calm, hoping Petro's plan leads to long-lasting peace. Alessandro Rampietti, Al Jazeera, Buenaventura.
Internationally, Germany says it expects more arrests and raids in connection with a far-right plot to overthrow its government, Al Jazeera's Dominic Kane reports.
Bad Lobenstein is a sleepy town in the eastern German state of Thuringia. And yet in this castle, police say the alleged plotters would meet to discuss their plans and store their weapons. It belongs to Heinrich Reuss, a minor aristocrat who styles himself as Prince Heinrich XIII, but who investigators believe is the ringleader of the group, a man long denounced by his family and by other townspeople for espousing conspiracy theories.
All citizens of Bad Lobenstein received a letter this past summer in which we were told that we were not German because our passports were not German. We were then given the opportunity to apply for our German origin documents with what the sender called the Reuss administration.
The driving ideology of the Reuss group is from the far-right Reichsbürger tradition. It would do away with democracy and reimpose the imperialist rule by a monarch or Kaiser. Many thousands of people have a loose and not criminal affiliation to the wider principle, but very few have actively plotted to bring it about.
Convinced people can be very strange in Germany, can be very radical and can be violent. We have seen that in our history, and this is the very reason that the big majority of the people say not again.
Certainly, the mood among many Germans is one of incredulity.
It's not really comprehensible. You hear about such plans in other countries, but for this to happen outside my front door? The government we have is not ideal, but probably better than what they had planned.
To be honest, I have no words. It's so far away from what I personally believe in, so I find it hard to grasp.
One central question being asked is how some of the alleged plotters could have reached positions of relative power and influence in society. Another question is what the country should do to remove such people from office earlier.
Ansonsten ist die wichtigste Konsequenz, dass alle wissen.
The most important consequence of this is that everyone knows that we have a true state and a defensible democracy, which is able with its security authorities to thwart such violations of the law and repel them with all its might.
Reichsbürgers have a love-hate relationship with this building. As the Bundestag or federal parliament, it's a demonstration of a democratic Germany they would abandon. But as the old Reichstags building, it's a reminder of the imperial Germany they would bring back. For now, ministers say they've thwarted that ambition. Dominic Kane, Al Jazeera, Berlin.
And finally, in Senegal, gender-based violence is in the spotlight after a recent brawl in parliament in which a female member of parliament was slapped and kicked by another politician. The fight broke out while a global activism campaign to end violence against women was underway. Al Jazeera's Nicholas Hark has more.
A routine parliamentary session descends into violence. A member of parliament slaps and kicks one of his colleagues. The woman was pregnant and has since miscarried. Even so, some politicians say she deserved the beating.
She started it. I understand the MP that hit her. She insulted his religious leader. I disapprove of what happened.
Charges have been laid against the offending MP, but despite robust new laws to protect women and girls in Senegal, research shows 68% of women victims of such crimes never speak out. It took Mama Mbang 19 years to summon up the courage to bring an end to her marriage and the daily blows that came with living with her husband. He would beat her unconscious, hitting her so hard that he damaged the nerves at the base of her skull, leaving her blind in the right eye. Mbang eventually left him and approached the police, but he continues to threaten her.
It's painful. It really hurts that he is still free. After everything he has done, he continues to harass me and goes looking for me, but I want to live my life.
Her closest relatives knew about the violence but did nothing to stop it. According to the UN, 1 in 3 women worldwide experienced sexual or domestic violence.
The rising number of cases is linked to fear of denouncing such acts and certain level of negligence and normalization of domestic violence. It is certainly the case in the household and beyond.
The brawl in Parliament has sparked a national conversation about the treatment of women, and it's not the only case in the public spotlight.
We're outside the main courthouse in Dakar, where Ousmane Sonko, the main opposition leader, is standing trial for rape. Look at the headlines. It says, "She is finally ready." The moment she has been waiting for, or this one, the sweet and beautiful duel. There's an undertone of sexism where the onus is on the woman to prove her innocence rather than on the man.
Few women are willing to come forward. Many of those who do are still afraid, but defiant, rebuilding their lives one step at a time. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera, Dakar.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2's Headline News Update. We will be back on Monday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other and do have a wonderful weekend.